The Super Hornet spools up its GE F414 engines to their full 42,000 pounds of thrust. Ladies and gentlemen, going to be on the roll in just a second. At the controls, Lieutenant Brian McCarthy and Lieutenant Dan Osbourn from VFA 106 at Naval Air Station Oceana. They're on the roll, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Hornets' new Sting. Watch for the dirty roll on takeoff. And here is the United States Navy's A-18F Super Hornet. And we're going to talk with Lieutenant Dan, Trig, Osbourn. Hey, Trig, you want to call some speeds for us, my friend?
Here we go, 400 knots.
400 knots, that's 460 miles an hour. That's almost 500. That's 575. That's 600 plus miles an hour. The actual exhaust was going supersonic. Look for that as you see the little diamonds. All right, we're going to go. The minimum radius turn. If you can't turn tight, you can't turn fight. The Super Hornet is unequaled in its ability for an airplane of this size to turn in a very tight space while avoiding surface-to-air missiles or engaging another aircraft. This Super Hornet has the ability to really turn it tight. Cuddles and Trig will approach show center. They'll throw the aircraft into 90 degrees of bank. He'll pull the stick back into his lap, subjecting both crew members to 7 times the force of gravity, accelerating throughout this turn. This is, ladies and gentlemen, called the Hornets, the Super Hornet minimum radius turn. Let's watch, let's listen. Keep your eyes on the exhaust. The afterburners are going. We got ourselves an air show. Deck of an aircraft carrier at sea. Setting up next, Cuddles and Trig will configure the aircraft like it would be for a landing on board a carrier. They'll approach from the right, lower the landing gear, lower the flaps, and lower the tail hook. It is the tail hook that catches one of 4 wires stretched across the deck of the aircraft carrier that lets this 40,000-pound airplane land in less than 400 feet. That tail hook is what differentiates Naval and Marine Corps aviators from any other pilots around the world. This is the carrier configuration pass. As they get past show center, they will power out. larger than the original Hornet, but still incredibly maneuverable. Let's watch the Super Hornet as it approaches for the pitch rate demo. He'll turn it on a dime sideways and turn it on a dime almost straight up. The molecules of water in the air get so pressed so close together, they become a visible cloud, and that's that vapor that you see. Oh, this is a great night for the demonstration. Say again, what demo is it? Copy that. Now, let's watch them as they approach from the left. We're going to fade the music down because we're going to see just how quiet the A-18 Super Hornet can be as they perform the inverted. Roll it over, guys. Whisper pass. But Cuddles and Trig are going to slow it down to about 1/10 of the Super Hornet's top speed and demonstrate the slow speed handling characteristics of this big jet. Coming in at, as I mentioned, at about 40,000 pounds, they're going to do the high alpha pass, showing you just how slow it can go and how slow can it go.
There's 180 knots.
Do not be blocked at anybody. Just turn around with that right on the other side.
There's 120.
That's about 135 miles an hour.
110.
That's 130. That's about 130. 95. That's 110 miles an hour. 95. less than 15 seconds to line up with that angled carrier deck that's moving away from them about 25 miles an hour. Let's watch as they approach to do a touch and go at a descent rate of some 600 to 700 feet per minute. When just before landing, the landing signal officer aboard the carrier deck will radio the airplane and give them basically permission to land.
Rhino 1-1, 3/4 of a mile, call the ball. 240, run ball 65. Roger.
They'll land on the deck. And even if the tail hook does catch a wire, they're prepared for a bolter with full power to go around. And this is what they're doing now. A little transition gear up. Once again, from VFA 106, the FA-18. Osbourn from Merritt Island, Florida, are going to set up for a photo pass. My guess is they'll be in full blower, afterburners glowing, motors going, and we're going to get a chance to see the aircraft as it banks sharply coming in from the right. Brian Cuddles McCarthy got his wings from Naval Air Station Meridian in 2006. He's since accrued over 1,400 hours, 1,200 in the Super Hornet. Look at the vapor, look at the burner, oh, get it up! They're going to come back in for one more carrier break to land. So we'll get another chance to see those afterburners glowing. This is a great time to see the FA-18 Super Hornet from VFA 106. It's the best of your United States Navy. He came out of burner just then because he was going to be going too fast if he didn't get out of burner. He'll set up to land on the next pass. Now, I'm going to ask a favor of some of you. I'm real busy up here. I don't get to take a lot of pictures, but I do have a Facebook page that a lot of people, a couple of thousand people tune into, and it's facebook.com/RobAnnouncer. If you've taken some pictures, and you don't have to be a professional, if you got some decent pictures that you took of some of these acts today and tonight, why don't you post them up there so people all over the world can see them? I got followers from all over the planet, and I'd love to have you share what you took with us, took here tonight, especially in this FA-18 Super Hornet. Lieutenant Dan Trig Osbourn from Merritt Island, Florida, got his wings right here at Naval Air Station Pensacola in 2006. He's got 1,100 hours as a naval flight officer in the Super Hornet and 320 carrier-arrested landings. And what a great performance we have seen from these guys today as they set up this time at that same 600 to 700 foot per minute descent rate. They're going to put it down on the ground here. You see the landing light on.
Rhino 1-1, 3/4 of a mile, call the ball. 240, run a ball 40.
That's the fuel state. Roger ball. And they're going to bring it into land. Would you give the Rhino and the crew a huge Pensacola round of applause? I can't hear you. That's great stuff. Still to come, we've got Team RV and lots more as we work our way toward dark with the night acts that we've got and fireworks display, all to wrap up this Friday night show at Naval Air Station Pensacola in the Blue Angels homecoming air show. That's the Super Hornet. There are a couple of ways that you can tell the difference between a Hornet and a Super Hornet. The Legacy Hornet, like they're flown by the Blue Angels, have a different shaped intake. They're more rounded. The Super Hornet has intakes for its 414 jet engines that are actually more squared off. At night, when it's a little tougher to see, there's another way to tell, and that way is to see actually the number of the way it blinks. Triple blinks on the Super Hornet, red lights on the tail, single blinks on the normal Legacy Hornet. Ladies and gentlemen, from VFA 106, a big round of applause for the United States Navy's F/A-18 Super Hornet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to turn the mic over to Carrie Norris. She's called